Each of you has written on loneliness. How do we define this? Because I think if we're going to walk away with wisdom and a sense of what this is, I think we need to know what we're talking about. This is not an easy thing. You know, when the Surgeon General published his report in 2023, it was hard to pin down what this thing was. Why is this so important?
So human beings are social animals, and we seek friendships, and that requires common loves. And so I would identify the opposite of loneliness as having genuine friendships, and it doesn't need to be a huge number, but friendships defined by common loves and a desire to build each other up by, in virtue, which is the highest form of friendship.
7 billion people in the world, but we all feel so distant from each other sometimes. How is that possible, right? Just given the sheer volume of people in this world. If we need to experience connection in this world, we also need to understand what is the absence of connection. So from that perspective, loneliness can potentially create more capacity within us to even understand the beauty of connection and the power of connection to transform relationships.
Loneliness is like an alarm clock that tells us we need to seek that social interaction. So it does serve a fundamental purpose. Other data sets, like where they actually ask how many minutes per day are you spending with social interaction with other people, among teens and young adults, those numbers have been cut in half since 2012. You know what happened at the end of 2012? That was the first time the majority of Americans owned a smartphone. Social media and all of these things are supposed to help us not be lonely, that you can never be lonely. It's how the tech companies kind of advertise their products. But if that were true, then loneliness should have gone down among teens, and instead it skyrocketed.
I don't think we have a mental health epidemic. I think we have a loneliness epidemic. And if we were to actually take care of that core need of being seen, being known, being valued, being loved, anxiety would go down, suicides would go down, overdoses would go down. But interestingly enough, the only way that trauma can be healed is in connection and in fellowship and in relationship. Honestly, I don't like the word relationship because it's just kind of benign. But where fellowship means that I'm going to be intentional about leaning into your story and your life. We have to be less busy so we can be more intentional.